How does exercise change my nutrient requirements? Most people understand that exercise increases their energy expenditure, therefore can increase their energy requirements if their goal is maintaining or gaining weight, and if they are trying to lose weight, can increase the amount of energy that they can consume and lose the same amount of weight as their sedentary counterparts. Importantly, there are multiple factors that dictate how much energy you expend during exercise, including age, sex, body size, body composition, genetics, as well as the intensity of the exercise and how efficient you are at doing the exercise. Therefore, if you are doing an exercise that is novel to you, you may expend more energy than an exercise that you are accustomed to because you are inefficient at performing the exercise. For example, you may expend more calories your first running session than your 10th, even if all other factors are identical. Sticking to the larger components, it seems to also increase what is recommended for your protein intake. And this holds true for both strength and endurance. Training, especially in the heat, also increases fluid loss. Therefore, it's recommended to consume fluid depending on the heat and intensity of your exercise. The more you are sweating, the more fluid it is recommended to consume. But even if you are in a cool environment, you will still increase your fluid losses when you exercise, simply not as drastically as if you were training in the heat. Additionally, those who are heat acclimated appear to have increased sweat losses. The reason for this is because sweat is a mechanism to cool down during exercise. One of the ways you can acclimate to training in the heat without overheating is to increase your sweat losses. The more sweat that you produce, the greater capacity you have to cool yourself down during exercise. Therefore, the longer you've been training in the heat, likely the higher your fluid requirements during exercise, because your sweat rate will have increased. With this sweat comes multiple micronutrients, specifically things like sodium, chloride, calcium, potassium, magnesium, as well as iodine, copper, chromium, zinc, selenium, and iron. Going further into micronutrients, physical activity appears to increase your riboflavin needs and can worsen pre-existing riboflavin deficiencies. Sticking with B vitamins, it also taxes the metabolic processes that require things like thiamine, riboflavin, and B6. Thus, athletes may consider increasing their consumption of these micronutrients. There's not as much data on folate or B12, but because these are required in multiple metabolic processes, we can assume that exercise may increase your requirements for them. With this trend, we see suggestions to increase your niacin intake, your copper, zinc, iron, and magnesium intake, and even your intake of very trace minerals like molybdenum. I excluded other micronutrients because we simply don't have much data on them. But given that micronutrients play a pivotal role in metabolic processes, one can assume exercise increases your requirements for most, if not all, micronutrients. The one thing I will mention is antioxidants. It does appear that extremely high doses of antioxidants, which are essentially only found in supplements, may actually have negative impacts on the adaptations to resistance training, because antioxidants can interfere with the cellular signaling processes that are vital for proper adaptations to exercise, including increasing muscle mass and muscle strength, as well as increasing your capacity to create energy, therefore increasing your capacity to do endurance exercise. You may still want to eat more antioxidant-rich foods, but antioxidant supplements may actually be counterproductive. The last thing I'll mention is that it does appear that things like EPA, DHA, and other essential fatty acids may improve exercise performance, but we don't have data indicating that exercise increases your requirements for these micronutrients. With that being said, I hope you found this helpful, and if you would like an individualized approach to nutrition and lifestyle to optimize your health, energy, and body composition, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.